Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Arcade USA on location. Today we're down in Warsaw, North Carolina, visiting the Neighbors for Neighbors
Foundation
on front.
That's Curiosities on front.
Curiosities on front.
That's for Neighbors Foundation. It's, you get it. Just kind of rewind and put it together.
Now, what does this store do for the community?
Well, this store does a lot for the community. It started out in 2012. It was founded by Angie and Stephen Barnett. And believe it or not, it just started as yard sales to help people locally in Duplin County who were in need, whether it was for medical expenses or maybe they lost their home in a fire, help them get clothes, get furniture. And then eventually they got this barn, and all these donations just started showing up. The word started to spread around the county, so people started donating clothes and video game systems and things you just wouldn't even believe, brand new items with the tag still on it. And they opened this shop out of this old barn that they referred to as the Pack House, and that went on for a few years. And then the city of Warsaw donated this building, which is a beautiful building. It used to be a Warsaw Drug Company, and they decided to move everything from that pack house here. And then it just grew from there, and everybody who works here, including myself, volunteers. Every penny we make through this store goes back out into the community, whether it be for somebody to pay a medical expense, pay an electric bill. We had a woman who was without power from November to December.
Wow.
This little old lady, and we got her power back on, So it's great for the community, and as you know, the stuff in here is amazing. There's very unique finds, and the prices cannot be beat.
No, I can definitely attest for that. I found a really cool Atari travel case here. Really great price. Had a Atari inside, a bunch of games. It was a great find. Plus, the money I gave helps the community, so it's a win-win situation, which is really nice. It's pretty cool. Now, what's your background? I know that you're an author, a published author. Mm-hmm. What kind of stuff do you do?
Well, what I do, aside from volunteering here, I volunteer here 3-4 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. It just depends on what I'm doing in my life. But I've authored 4 to 5 different books in the paranormal realm, ghost stories. I've been doing that for about 21 years now. I also produce paranormal films. I'm really big into the ghost thing. And so in between writing the books, in between producing documentaries, we just landed an Amazon Prime deal, which we
yes.
So we're going to have our series on Amazon Prime next year. In between all of these projects, I volunteer here. Some of you may have heard me on the Jim Harold Show, Coast to Coast
Paranormal podcast.
Right. I've probably done almost 1,000 of those podcast radio shows, and this is for me. When you've lived the paranormal world for 21 years, mm-hmm. you get to come out of the darkness and do something positive. You know what I mean? It's kind of your yin to your yang.
A balance.
Right, it's a balance. So I get to walk in here and smile, and occasionally I'll have people come through the door looking at me like, yeah, I know who you are. And then it's, here we go, and I'm telling the ghost stories and stuff like that. But that's pretty much my background.
Awesome, really awesome. Well, as you can see here on the table, we got just a few little interesting items. He's got a Atari 2600 here in the box, which is really awesome. He's got a whole lot of Atari cartridges. It's just a few. He's got a whole bunch of those. Some really cool plug-and-plays are at the store. Some really cool dolls, especially this vintage G.I. Joe action team guy right there. That's pretty awesome. I've not seen one of them in a long time.
I think that's 1962.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
About the year you were born?
I should know this stuff because of the Toy Tune podcast, but I got a buddy that's really into these figures. He knows all about them, so I'm sure he'll watch this video and put a note in there saying, Willie, you dummy, which is fine. But there's one toy here that's very interesting that you were telling me a story about. This little Gizmo Furby guy right here. You've actually had to take the batteries out of him. Why did you take the batteries out of Gizmo?
Well, Angie Barnett, you know, the woman who runs the Neighbors for Neighbors Foundation, she was getting tired of this thing talking on its own. And it's that stereotypical story that you hear where the batteries aren't in it.
Yes.
And it's she said you take it. You're the paranormal guy. You take it. So I take it home. This happens more than you would think. Half of my collection at home was given to me from people for this same reason. And we take it home. No batteries are in it. And believe it or not, the thing started to say some things that weren't so nice. And I actually started to research this particular gizmo, and there were a handful of them that other people were saying were using those kind of words and were saying things that they weren't programmed to say in the
Colorful
factory.
metaphors?
Right. And my wife, she woke me up one night because he sits right on my desk where I write, and he was saying my name. My name. You know, as long as he doesn't jump down and jump in the toilet, get wet. I mean, we all know what happens after that.
Yeah.
You know, as long as he doesn't do that, I'm okay with it.
He goes to the paranormal collector up in Boston.
Yeah. He's going to the movie theater and we're blowing it up. That's what's going to happen.
That's really awesome. Well, now we'll take a little walk around the store so you can see some of the other items in here. They have, besides games and toys, they have like clothing items. You name it, it's here. It's basically like a thrift store. There's all kinds of cool stuff here. So let's go take a look around. Well, that was just a quick overview of the store. It's really an actually cool place. You need to check this out if you're ever in the Warsaw, North Carolina area.
You are totally in 3D. Totally in 3D. You guys can't see it, but I can see it.
But before we go, what's some of the most interesting things you've seen come through this store that were donated?
It blows my mind. Actually, I have one in my pocket. I wear it all the time. And this fits perfect with your gaming show. But this is a Legend of Zelda pocket watch. It's got Link on it. And this was the very first thing I ever purchased from Neighbors for Neighbors Foundation before I even started volunteering here. And I just thought, I'd never even seen one.
I've never heard of it.
And it's gorgeous, but some of the stuff would just blow your mind. You know, as you can see behind Willie here, these gaming systems, people just donate to us. You know, their children move out, they go off to college, we get the systems. We get name brand stuff like Louis Vuitton bags. I personally bought a Harley Davidson jacket here that was $20. Still had the tags on it.
Wow.
Went home, Googled it, it was $379 brand new. There's so much that comes through here where if people knew about the store, they wouldn't go anywhere else. They would check here first because the prices are just absolutely amazing. Those name brand Michael Kors, you know, the stuff the ladies like, those purses, they're sitting over there for $20.
Like shoes.
Shoes, $20. Michael Kors.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was here 2 or 3 weeks ago, and from the time I was here to now, I've noticed there's some new stuff that's been put out. So it looks like the stock is rotating constantly in here.
It's daily. It's daily. When we sell through some shoes or we sell through leather jackets, right now the prom's real big, and people, it's coming up on the spring. Wedding dresses are going out the door. As we sell this stuff that night or the next morning, we're restocking it. So it's not like when you're in Walmart and you wait until Tuesday when they restock. It's every day you can walk in here and see something different.
That's awesome. Well, if you guys are in the area, make sure you check out 204 North Front Street here in Warsaw, North Carolina. Parking's in the back. They got a parking area out front, but the actual entrance is here in the back. So come on down and check the place out. Thanks for taking your time, Stephen.
Thank you, Willie. We appreciate it.
So if you ever find yourself heading down Interstate 40 to Wilmington, why not stop by Neighbors for Neighbors and check out the Curiosities on Front here in Warsaw, North Carolina. Say hi to Stephen and Angela. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.